Welcome back. I was having a interesting conversation with my coworker. We're driving out to one of the places we got to work on, and he was explaining the center console thing and something that happened when some food was found in the console or whatever. And he said, "I like having the seats separated. You get this thing to flip up and down, and this one's got the storage all the way to the bottom, whereas the old truck had this bench seat with just the fold up thing in the middle." And for some reason, it just sparked a little thing where, like, I grew up with bench seats in cars. I grew up in work trucks, always the bench seat, and always working. So, what I remember is being able to lay down and sleep. If it was at the end of the day, we're in the work truck. Sometimes if I wasn't driving, my dad would be driving or somebody else would be driving, and I would just climb into the back and lay out on the bench seat in that, they had folded down seats. Or even, because in concrete, you got to wait for the concrete to dry. So I would crawl into the front seat of the truck and I'd lay out and have a nap. And it's different because I'm a side sleeper, right? So I can like totally curl up. And I'm fine, with these bucket seats in cars now, because they all have bucket seats now. It's pretty much standard. That. And even the back seats aren't a bench seat anymore. They have contoured sections on that bench seat. So even if you do lay down, it's not like flat or anything. It's all bumpy and curvy, and you can't get comfortable. You know. And I was thinking that with these bucket seats, even though they're comfortable to drive around in, trying to sleep in your car seat. I don't know how people who live in cars do it, because it's I don't know, maybe depending on the car, maybe depending on how you sleep it personally. But I have a hard time getting on my side, to get comfy. Do you remember bench seats? Do you have good memories of bench seats? Say it down in the comments. Like, I think, I don't know. If modern day, there was something about, we had this old 1970 something Ford LTD custom convertible thing. It had everything was electric on it. It was fully loaded. It was my dad's uncle's car that he ended up getting, but it had these electric front bench seats, and everything, the back went down, moved backwards and forwards. But I remember going on road trips with that out to where my parents lived, and driving around with my friends in it, and you could pile a million people in that car. Or you'd do a turn and you'd slide down the seat. You didn't, even if you had your seatbelt on, because the seatbelts were, you know, goofy back in the day. But I don't know. I had good memories of bench seats. Even the work truck when I was working for the federal government, they had, they buy the cheap work trucks, right, for fleet sales or whatever, and it was a 60-40 split, I think, or whatever you call it. But the driver's seat, and then there was a split, and there was a kind of a middle part where this console thing felt could fold down, and then the other seat. And I hated being the passenger in that because I couldn't move my own seat back and forth, you know. Buddy would put it all the way back, or somebody would put it all the way forward. If you weren't the driver, it sucks. Bench seats suck if you're not the driver. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it because in that truck too, when nothing was going on, you lift up the console, and then I would just lay down and sleep. But yeah, tell me about your bench seat story. I don't know. Do you think it's a good idea they got rid of them? I know they're remaking old cars into modern cars again. Like there's the Chevy Bel Air thing, I think, but they're redoing these old cars, and I'm wondering, you know, I haven't really looked into it, but I'm wondering if they're putting, you know, the bench seats in those cars. You know, even though they got the modern disc brakes, the you know fuel injected engines, the airbags. But you know, I really wonder if they kept the old bench seat style, right? Yeah, let me know in the comments. That'd be I don't know. It's interesting. Be interesting to hear about that.